This is the entire plot that Chapter 1 of Poppy Playtime has to offer, going from the very beginning of the chapter all the way to the very end, so you can know exactly what happened. Now, I know I'm extremely late for this, but I'll be doing plot explanations for not only Chapter 1, but for Chapter 2 and for Chapter 4 when it officially releases. If you want to see the Chapter 3 explanation, the link will be in the description. But with that being said, let's look at the entire plot of Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. Upon starting the game, the sound of a VHS tape plays and you're greeted by Elliot Ludwig, founder of Playtime Co. This commercial, made in the 1950s, advertises Poppy Playtime, a porcelain doll with red curly hair that has the ability to speak to children. She's, and I quote, the first truly intelligent doll in the world.
Poppy Playtime!
Poppy's as lovable as a real girl, and she talks like one too.
Hi, my name is Poppy. I love you. Can you help me polish my shoes?
Why, of course, Poppy. Just like a real girl, Poppy always wants to look her best.
Perfect! Thank you.
Her hair is sturdy and won't come out when you brush it, and smells just like a poppy flower. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Poppy?
I'm a real girl, just like you.
What's the time?
Playtime!
That last comment by Poppy seemed a bit ominous, almost as if there was an actual soul inside of her. The narrator then goes on to promote factory tours, in which guests could see how and where all of the toys are made. The end of the tape glitches out, however, to show an image of a poppy flower somewhere in the factory. We are then shown a note that reads, "Everyone thinks the staff disappeared 10 years ago. We are still here. Find the flower." It's unknown who sent this letter to the player or why there are spelling errors, but without question, we head back to the factory. Who we're playing as is also unknown, but we know that the player used to be an employee at Playtime Co. The possible motive for returning is obtaining more information about what happened to their fellow employees before the company shut down. We spawn into what looks like the reception area of the factory. On the desk, you'll find a green VHS tape which can be inserted into the VCR on the left. The television will play a security warning narrated by Leith Pierre, head of innovation at Playtime Co., a title that is ambiguous but will become clearer in the later chapters.
If you're seeing this, then you're trespassing. Yeah, we play this little tape on loop whenever we close the factory for the day. So, trespasser, just to make you aware, while we pride ourselves primarily on our high-quality toys and excellent child care, we also pride ourselves on our security. For example, this facility is full of hidden motion triggers, which, once set off, will turn on the factory's emergency alarms and directly contact the authorities. And that's one of the more tame aspects of our security system. No spoilers. So, you've got my warning. It's not too late to turn around. I just hope that you're certain whatever you're doing is worth it.
Pierre warns us about traveling further into the factory, serving as dark foreshadowing for what's to come. Also, what was the spoiler relating to the security alarm? Sooner or later, we would find out. Heading toward the left, you'll enter a gift shop with abandoned merchandise. If you look up, you'll see a toy train with color-coordinated carts: green, pink, yellow, red. A code of some sort. If you exit and go to the security room on the far right, you'll see a colored keypad. The pattern on the train is the code to get into the room. While walking in, you'll find a dark blue tape near a computer. After putting it into the VCR, you'll find that it's an instruction video teaching you how to use the Grab Pack, patented Playtime Co. technology for employees. It has many uses, such as grabbing objects, reaching far distances, and conducting electricity. You then receive a blue left hand, which can be used to enter the main room behind the reception desk. And once you enter the lobby, you'll encounter the one and only Wuggy. He stares eerily into the distance, in the same pose we first saw him in. You decide to get a closer look. Is he moving? You can't quite tell, but he gives you the creeps, so you decide to step back. Near his feet is a sign that explains Huggy's history. It reads, Playtime Co. has designed hundreds of distinct toys, but none connected with people more than that of Huggy Wuggy. Our founder, Elliot Ludwig, aimed to create a toy which could hug you forever. As is always true, Playtime Co.'s 4-step process to creating the most lifelike toys was a success. With a bit of string and polyester, our lovable blue pal Huggy was brought to life. Huggy Wuggy has gone on to be Playtime Co.'s most popular and best-selling toy so far. You notice a room to your left with 2 glowing hands at the top of the entrance, but you need both a red and blue hand to enter. So you look to the left instead and spot a door that says power. You try to open it, but it's locked. The next door, however, with a singular blue hand symbol, is able to be activated, although it short circuits. Soon after, you hear a sound similar to the jingling of keys. You turn around and notice that Huggy has a set of keys in his hand. Was that always there? Perhaps you just imagined something. You take it with your grab pack and enter the power room. When walking to the very back of the room, you notice a door with handprints on it. You feel inclined to open it with your grab pack and a high voltage power source is revealed. With the blue hand, the player diverts it to the nearby power pole and then another that is a few steps away. A confirming jingle plays to tell you that you have performed the task successfully. You wander back outside, but something is clearly missing. Huggy is gone. He didn't make any noise, almost like he disappeared out of thin air. Returning back to the short-circuited entrance that now has power, you activate it and walk down a hallway. A yellow hand and blue furry arm sticks out of a door, but as you move closer to it, it disappears. Down another hallway you go, and you enter what looks to be the shipping section of the factory. You see a yellow VCR, but no VHS tape, so you decide to head further in, walking up the stairs. You'll notice a giant claw machine, and at the end of the room, your second red hand in a glass case. Right in front of you though, is a color-coded machine that needs 4 pieces for the claw to be activated. The blue piece is to your left on the ground. For the others, you'll have to drop down under the machine. After collecting all the parts, you finally find the yellow VHS tape which features an employee named Rich, ranting to another employee named Avery, complaining about the company's disorganization.
Rich, where are they keeping the Huggy boxes?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Remember when maintenance last did a sweep of this place?
No.
Exactly. Nobody in this stupid company knows what they're doing. Oh, I swear, I haven't seen a single box in its place since they started flooding the storehouse with orphanage junk.
Right.
I get it. It's a nice program and all, on brand, but it's just hard to be happy about it when manufacturing's on our necks about it, because we can't find stupid Huggy boxes.
Rich.
You're right. You're right. It's for the orphans. I just wish there were less boxes.
In this tape, we learn 2 things. Playtime Co. started an adoption initiative, and the company wasn't always smooth sailing, but it turns out that they had many more secrets to hide. Going back up to the machine and putting in the pieces, the claw will get the hand for you, although it'll stop midway, so you'll have to jump down and get it on your own. Now, you'll be able to open the entrance ahead that requires 2 hands. Next, you'll take a long walk through the maintenance tunnel, a location that's oddly maze-like. After finding a power source, you'll have to connect it to the receiver outlet on the other side. After doing so, the conveyor belt will move you, although an alert sound will go off periodically as toys are dumped off. And finally, we reached the Make a Friend room, a place where children could visit and make their own toy using some of Playtime's latest technology. You decide to read the sign in the middle of the room. Make a friend, 1960. Our founder, Elliot Ludwig, was a visionary. He set the stage for all of Playtime Co.'s greatest feats. Yet, of all the amazing things he created, the Make-A-Friend machine is one of the most creative, impressive, and advanced. It is solely responsible for nearly every Playtime Co. toy sold on the market to this day. All it needs is to be fed the proper parts, and it will then paint, assemble, and do a quality inspection of the toy all on its own. Gone is the need for complex sorting or backbreaking labor. This machine can do all that and more. The machine needs to be turned on, so you head up the stairs to the left and a pink VCR is seen. To find the tape, you just need to walk forward a bit and look to the wall on the left. This tape features an employee named Stella Graber, who was being interviewed for a position at the factory.
So, Stella, what made you want to work at the Playtime Co. factory?
Playing with toys when I was young was so magical. I could go straight from my bedroom floor to anywhere in the world. It was such a great feeling. And being able to work at a toy factory, somewhere that can provide kids with that same experience, that's a pretty great feeling too.
Later on in the chapters, we learn that Stella's role in the factory runs pretty deep, but as of right now, we just learn about her deep interest in toys. To turn on the machine, a puzzle must be solved. You can connect two platforms together using your hand, and then you can connect to the power source. One grab pack wire needs to touch the two power poles just to make sure that you can connect the second platforms together and make sure you don't run out of wire. From here, the receiver outlets can be connected. Now, you'll be able to go back downstairs to the Make-A-Friend machine and press a red button next to the plaque. It takes a few seconds before a train sound plays, indicating that the machine is on. Closer to the animated machines are lit up handles that must be pulled down one by one to get all of the toy parts. As you walk around, you realize that the eyes of the machine are following you. Something that was supposed to be entertaining for children just seemed downright creepy. After waiting patiently, your toy is synthesized and makes its way down the conveyor belt. It's Cabby, a toy hybrid that Playtime Co. released in the 80s to 90s. To the left, you'll find a blue door that says, "Nobody leaves without a toy." And next to it is a space for you to put Cabby. After scanning it, it opens the gate. But all you notice is complete darkness at the end of the hall. You have no choice but to continue on until Huggy Wuggy himself comes out, setting off the security alarm that Leith Pierre had mentioned in the beginning. You panic and look around, wondering where to go next. At the end of the conveyor belt, you notice that a door is open and you enter into the maintenance tunnels. As you run, you hear footsteps all around you. How could Huggy even fit in here? The tunnel follows a series of twists and turns in which you never know where Huggy will show up. He could be behind you or appear right in front of you. There are even times when doors will shut, forcing you to wait for an opening. If you do happen to die, you'll be greeted by a variety of different death screen messages. Don't die just yet. It's not your time. Death isn't permanent. Get up. Someone is trying to communicate with us, but it's unsure who. It might be related to a character that's mentioned towards the end of the chapter. After what feels like an eternity, you'll be able to exit the tunnels, but your path will be blocked by some boxes. You turn around and look for any way to stop Huggy before he catches up to you. A crate from above can be used to collapse part of the catwalk, forcing Huggy to fall to his doom. It's dead silent now. Is it safe to continue? But then you see it. You found the flower. It's the exact same one as the drawing in the letter, but it's painted around a door. You have to get inside. As you walk across, you'll notice a black VHS tape and a television near it. The contents are quite distressing. A Playtime Co scientist is heard detailing what appears to be his last recording before his death.
Final log. In relation, experiment 1006, the prototype. Coordination and cooperation is evidently within his skill set, as well as the skill set of all other experiments of his type. Though still missing, today's events are no doubt in relation to him. His absence was a flaw in the scientific process, which should have under no circumstances been left unaccounted for. That's why I'm making this log, so that the same mistake won't be made twice. Any future experiments will need to be contained and disposed of in a secure location. I'm not worried about myself. One breakthrough and I'll be back. We must forge onwards in the name of science, whether those who are beneath us understand it or not. End of...
This confirms the unsettling feeling we had earlier. Playtime Co. was doing things that they shouldn't have been, and 1006 was a repercussion of their actions. But unfortunately, we wouldn't know the full story until the end of Chapter 3. Unintentionally or not, we followed the scientist's advice, forging onwards by heading into the room of the poppy flower. Despite there being warning signs written around the door: run, go back, stop, danger, turn around. The hang toys around the door aren't even enough to make us go back. But when we enter, we notice that the design of this section is different from the rest, almost like an old house. We walk down a long hallway, then pass a wardrobe and dollhouse. After approaching a small red hallway, we open the door to reveal a sleepy Poppy Playtime doll trapped in a case. She seems peaceful, but something tells us that we should wake her up. After all, the note said to find the flower, and we did indeed find her. So we let our intrusive thoughts take over and open the case. Then...
You opened my case.
But what did you guys think about the first chapter of Poppy Playtime? Were you instantly hooked? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video right here.